You are probably familiar with the battleship Iowa. 9 16-inch guns, the ship was commissioned in 1942. Since then, she has been commissioned and decommissioned a few times, modernized, but we're not exactly looking at the modernized versions today. This is the 1942 version of the Iowa, as you can find it in NavalArt. The ship is armed with 9 16-inch guns and a slew of secondaries, but what if you make it bigger? What if you make it better? What if you make the Iowa a trimaran? Or rather, allow me to introduce you, the TRIOWA. This ship now has 39 16-inch guns. It has propulsion which is sufficient to maneuver the ship, although not necessarily at as good of a speed as you might normally expect from the Iowa. Her secondary armament, well, it's called secondary for a reason. Because what needs a secondary armament if you have 39 16-inch guns? I think it's about time that we take the TRIOWA to the test. For the first encounter, I have challenged the Yamato to a duel to the death. Let's see if the TRIOWA is actually capable of taking down this target. Keep in mind, I normally would go broadside with a ship like this, but since most of my firepower, i.e. 8 of my turrets, are on the bow, I should be able to make something work without going broadside. So, let's select the armor-piercing ammunition, target Yamato, and let her rip. That is quite a substantial amount of ammunition flying through the air. Let's see if Yamato is actually going to be impressed by this little salvo. Yeah, she lost about a quarter of her health. We even got a hit to the citadel. My own armor seemingly shrugged off the first of her 18-inch shells, so that's an excellent start. Let's go for another one, especially as she's broadside. I might be able to get a good citadel hit in. And with that, put the Yamato out of the fight very, very quickly. Shells going in. Nice and broadside. Well, we hit a couple of modules. Destroyed some AA guns. I'm not exactly concerned about her AA guns, though. It's not really the biggest problem that the ship is currently putting out for me. Because, of course, that is her 18-inch guns. Shells out. Look at these salvos that the TRIOWA fires. Isn't that glorious? The amount of armor that the TRIOWA had was a bit of... well, let's say it's not fully historical. Let's say it's not fully historical. It is pretty heavily armored, but I had to balance it so that the ship didn't immediately sink when it spawned in. Now the 5-inch guns are set to the AI controller, so I don't have to worry about those. But, well, it's a secondary armament. Like, what's it really gonna do against this ship? I do seem to have lost some of my firepower. I'm definitely not getting as much as normal. There we go. She's down to 51,000. I think in about 12 seconds we have another full salvo. I have lost 2 turrets and 1 gun elevator. Or shell elevator. But that shouldn't preclude us from being unable to fire. We still have plenty of guns left. And if nothing else works, I can go a little bit more broadside. And be sure to use some of the turrets mounted on the stern. Yamato is really not having a fun time against the TRIOWA. I mean, look at this cursed... look at this cursed creation. Let's see. Can we still pen at this angle? Or no? Because this ship is pretty heavily angled. I'm not sure exactly how the mechanics are going to work. We did get a pen. Oh, there we go. Little bit more AA guns destroyed. We're actually getting a pen with a 5-incher, I suspect. And I have lost about 70,000 hit points. So I definitely haven't come out of the battle unscathed. But I can surely finish off Yamato before she finishes off me. This ship is about to go down. There you go, another full pen, a module destroyed, module neutralized. Of course, those 18-inch guns of hers are very heavily protected, and that makes them quite difficult to destroy. They've also destroyed an AA gun, apparently. I can live without an AA gun. There's nothing flying around here. Come on, this could be the death of her. 9,000, 7,000, and she's gone. The TRIOWA gets her first victory over Yamato. However, this was just one combatant. What happens if I face more? For this next duel, I'm going up against a Cleveland light cruiser, a Fletcher destroyer, the SMS Tirpitz, and the HMS Hood. How the Hood and the Tirpitz found themselves in the same battle, let's not get into that. The TRIOWA is going to be a little bit more hard-pressed to fight these foes, especially the Fletcher. It might be, displacement-wise, the smallest ship, yet this ship has torpedoes on it. And let's say that the TRIOWA, well, she has some difficulty getting up to speed, let alone be able to get out of the way of an incoming torpedo. Let's load the armor piercing, and let's give Tirpitz a dose of 15-inch medication. Correction, 16-inch medication. I'm not sure if the Tirpitz is as well armored as Yamato, but I think she is not. And yeah, that's a decent start. AA gun destroyed, and even destroyed an engine over there. As for the Fletcher, 18 clicks out. I'm not exactly expecting her to be a threat just yet. Maybe I can let her be for a bit of time. That was only part of the guns from the port side hull, I think. And there is the rest of it. Fletcher, yeah, there's the Cleveland, and the Hood is basically in front of me. Oh, we're going to be missing a lot of shells here. Gave it too much lead. But we got a Citadel hit. She's going to regret that. I do want to go for a complete kill on this ship. Because if I don't completely eliminate her, she will continue to be a threat. And I think she has the biggest guns with her 15-inch guns. So she has to go. She is absolutely a priority. Let's see if this will finish her off. We're taking about 10 to 15,000 off of each, off of the ship with each salvo. Oh, she's down to 4! Fine. You'll get one more dose, and then you should be gone. In the meanwhile, the TRIOWA is definitely coming under a lot of fire from what seems to be the Hood and the Cleveland. So far, the Fletcher out there at 17 clicks, not that much of a threat. Thankfully, because I am not exactly eager to try dodging those torps. Okay, let's start swinging the guns around, targeting the Hood next, while the shells are on their way and going to be delivering the last blow to the Tirpitz. Tirpitz destroyed. Here's the Fletcher with her torpedo tubes already pointed at me. That is somewhat concerning. This was the Tirpitz. Let's go back to my own ship. The 5-inch guns are under AI control. And this means that they will try to pitch in with, well, whatever they can do. Which apparently against Hood is not even that bad. Here comes a full salvo against Hood. 12 clicks out. Oh, it looks pretty good. Yes. That's most of the Hood gone. Realistically, Hood should have exploded by now, but, well, I understand that she's not quite feeling like that. Maybe she's having a stable day. Oh, another full pen. I think that the enemy just simply doesn't have the firepower to deal with the TRIOWA. It is not enough. There goes the Hood. The Fletcher is still nicely parked off in the distance. So I'm sorry, Cleveland, but you're next. I'm not sure if my ship turns faster than my guns. So let's steady the rudder. And fire at least a small salvo to figure out if my aim is good enough. A bit too much. And there's the rest. If this Cleveland's unlucky, this is going to finish her off in one go. Ho 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 ho! And that's how you do it. Now, as for the Fletcher, I probably won't need a high or armor piercing for that. The Fletcher does not seem to be too interested in fighting me today. I can respect that. But she has to go. It's a small target to hit though, so this guy might take me a bit more time. Yeah, definitely a smaller target to hit. So if you got a smaller target, you just need to throw more stuff at it. Maybe we can at least land 1 or 2 hits, and that should knock out some critical modules, potentially including their engine. If it does, that makes targeting the ship a whole lot easier. Ooh, unfortunate. She is coming back. I don't know NavalArt well enough to figure out what range her torpedoes have. Basically going turret by turret now, just putting a whole lot of stuff in the air. Oh, close! Hit! 1 hit. Got about a third of her health gone. And now the 5-inch guns are also going to help out, so hopefully with those I'll be able to finish off the Fletcher. She's making a final stand here. Yep, she's going up with the guns as well. I've only lost about 50,000 points of hull strength. Module destroyed. Full salvo. Come on, 1 or 2. That was a 5-inch. And that's the ship gone. Boom. So, the Trimaran once again reigns supreme. Sorry, the Triowa. I have only lost 58,000 points of health. So, it's really not that bad for the Triowa. I mean, yeah, she's been burning a bit. But other than that, she's fine. We might have to make these fights a bit more difficult. Seeing as the Triowa is 3 Iowas strapped together, what happens if I go up against 3 separate Iowas? Let's put this to the test. These ships have 90,000 hit points per. I have 318,000, so I have slightly more. But this is still going to be quite a challenge. Because these guys have a lot of firepower. I think my play here should be to try and knock out one of the Iowas as quickly as possible. Then potentially destroy some modules on the other. And thereby making it less of a threat. Now I have destroyed a turret on this Iowa. I'm not sure, but it seems to be burning down a 5-inch gun. So that's the least of my worries. I'm not interested in taking down 5-inch guns. We're going to have to deal with the bigger stuff. Those 16s of her, they have to go. Now she's already turning nice and broadside for me. That's very considerate. Makes my life a lot easier. And that was way over. Okay, let's not do that again. She's definitely also still gaining speed, which makes targeting her a bit more challenging. 5 seconds to full reload. That should do it. Sent the first salvo of 3 shells as a bit of a test, and the rest of them are still way over. Huh? Okay. So I need to be targeting way lower. I need to be targeting way, way, way lower. Alright. First we're going to see if that, let's say, range-finding salvo hits before dealing with the rest of the shells. The other ones, 25 and 22 kilometers out. This is definitely the closest Iowa. So, lower. Shells are coming in. And that was a bit too low. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Put out one of the Iowas, please. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Destroyed some more of their modules. But still not getting to the 16-inchers. I have lost about 20,000 hit points by now. So if they're able to keep this up, I'm going to have a problem. Come on, boys. Get rid of this ship. Before it gets rid of us. Yeah, we smashed their superstructure again, but that's not good enough. They've only lost 30,000 hit points. I need to get these shots much, much better placed. Come on. Load the guns. Give me one ranging shot. Let's just bombard her like this. Not doing a full salvo, just doing a, let's say a ripple fire. And with this many guns, I pretty much have one reloaded every single time. Yep, that's good damage right there. 22, 22, 2400. My ship is definitely starting to suffer though. In case you're wondering what this looks like without being fully zoomed in. It's just one gun after another going off. And there she goes. She's gone. Next Iowa. Next Iowa. Okay, so I should be able to win this. Can we actually get some shells in the citadel from here? Ooh, close splash there. Not good enough. Fired way over. I gave her a little bit too much lead. And she's turning. Now, I did say I am 3 Iowas strapped together. That's not strictly speaking true. Because an Iowa has 9 of these 16-inch guns. I have 39. So I actually have a lot more firepower than a regular Iowa. And potentially I should have gone up against 4 targets, not 3. Just look at this thing go. I know this is not the most accurate way to range find, but it does look good. Yeah, some light damage here and there. What happens if we fire a big burst of HE? We might be able to completely mitigate all of those secondaries of theirs, and potentially blow a sizable hole in their main tower. If that is a thing in this game. I'm not 100% on that. This Iowa is making a stand. On their head be it. Or should I say on their hull. Starboard turn. Now this thing maxes out, at least with the current funnels that I have set up, which in NavalArt indicate how much engine power you have, at about 8 knots. So don't expect this thing to come racing to your victory or to your assistance, because it's not what it does. At least not with the current funnel setup. Yeah, neutralized a couple of modules. Wait, did that destroy one of your funnels? Sorry, no, turrets. It does seem like the A turret's no longer turning. So perhaps we're able to mitigate some of the threat from this ship. Decent range. Yeah, this could be a serious threat to her. Oh, 38k gone. As far as I know, in this game you don't have a flooding mechanic. So ships that are, well, supposedly taking on water, they don't actually flood. Full burst. That ought to do it. And then we can easily wipe out the last of them. Oh, she's turning though. Don't matter. She's gone. I do see notifications that my rangefinders are getting destroyed. I'm not sure if this actually has any implications for the accuracy of the ship. So if you do know, please let me know down below in the comments, because that would really be helpful. Also, this is just a fun little video on NavalArt with the TRIOWA. If you have any other, let's say, ideas for unorthodox designs, by all means, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be happy to see what I can whip up. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. How are you doing? Superstructure took a couple of hits. Yeah, also keep in mind that if these things are pointing their bows at me, they might have a little bit more chance to deflect my shells, so slightly better ricochets on their part. But at the same time, they're only using 2/3 of their firepower. Whereas, well, I also have that problem, but it still means I can fire with 8 turrets versus 2. Then again, not everything has to be a fair fight. Look at that shotgun spread. You ever had a 16-inch shotgun? I would recommend that you try it. It seems to be like a decent upgrade over the regular 12 gauge. Yes, turn a bit more to port. Let's go ripple fire for a bit. Yeah, the damage is racking up here. Module destroyed. She's holding up a lot better than I'd expected, really. Is her A turret functional? Because it seemed to be on fire. 13 clicks out now. I think we can finish her off. Let's do it. Yes. Oh, not quite. Fine. Fine, I have more salvos. I have more guns. And I certainly have a lot more health. I think the worst contestant that we've had so far, as in the one that did the most damage, was the Yamato. But this Iowa doesn't really seem to do a whole lot. And I think that without her engine, she's going to be very much unable to dodge any of that. Also, please consider this to be Wargaming's next design for World of Warships. So if you ever find something like this, I'm not sure if you want to thank me, but at least you know where they got their inspiration. No. Send it. Gone. And yet again, the Triowa reigns supreme. Of course, you can still put this thing out of its misery with a couple of anti-ship missiles. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do next. See if we can sink the Triowa. My ship, this time around, is the Ticonderoga. I'm sorry for mispronouncing that as Ticonderoga last time. I believe it is the... Ticonderoga? Ticonderoga. Whatever. It's this cruiser. There is the Charles commanding the Triowa up in the distance, and I'm now on the receiving end of all of those 16-inch guns. I might be able to get some range, but I'm not sure exactly what the maximum range of that thing is. Let's lock onto the target. I have, for this particular challenge, upgraded the armament of this ship with an additional 4 basalt missiles. So maybe with the basalts... Oh, and the tomahawks are stationed underneath the basalts. Maybe I can make something happen. Especially seeing as the Triowa cannot intercept these missiles. I just want to see what one of these missiles does. Because this is a big boy missile. And the Triowa, of course, has a lot of armor. But, well... Can this thing actually inflict some damage? Come on. Yes! That was a lot of damage. So, you're saying with 2 more missiles I should be able to do it? Interesting. What happens if I launch a Tomahawk right through the other missile launcher? Oh, it doesn't care. Really? Okay. In that case, deploy the Tomahawks. Oops, and that was a basalt. Sorry. Sorry, Triowa. There's also a basalt coming in. Look at this spam of cruise missiles. Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus! That took about... Well, that took a little bit of my health off. But the problem that this ship has is if it starts to suffer hits, I will lose most of my armament. Whereas the Triowa does not seem to have any such problem. This could finish her off. No, it didn't. Oh, there must have been a Tomahawk. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. So against World War II ships, this ship is a big threat. Against something that has cruise missiles, like my ship, it's not that big of a threat. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you had fun. I definitely had fun building the Triowa and testing her out against these various targets. Again, if you have any weird challenges that you'd like me to try out, or particular strange things that you'd like me to refit, by all means, let me know down below in a comment, and I might pick up your idea soon. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for more.